Hi everyone, welcome to your ultimate budget by paycheck spreadsheet. This is a video tutorial on how to use it. As a general rule, please only fill out white cells. Do not edit colored cells as they may contain formula. If you accidentally fill out the colored cell, for example, like this, so I've put warnings in place. So if you didn't mean to edit it, please select cancel, but it is not locked. So if you do want to override the formula, you can always select OK. Please do not add or delete any rows. If you need extra rows, please reach out to me. Please start with this paycheck budget sheet, budget by paycheck, and set up your budget period by entering the start date and the end date. You do so by double clicking the cell and then select your dates. In this example here, I'm setting it up as bi-weekly period. So that's why I've selected the 7th of August to the 20th of August. 7th of August is my payday of my bi-weekly income. You can definitely set this up as your monthly budget. You can do so by entering the first of the month as a start date and then the end of the month as an end date. Start balance is your end balance or remaining funds from previous month. So if you have any remaining cash from previous month, please enter the amount here. It will then be automatically populated in this paycheck summary under these two cells here. So after you set up your budget period, please log your income in this table here. It's pretty straightforward. So just enter your income log name and then your projected amount here and then your actual amount. Please remember that this income that you input here should be any paycheck or income that you receive between these two dates here. You then can see your projected total amount versus your actual total amount, which also will be displayed here and also will be displayed in this paycheck summary under this row here. This little table here is to show your income on the bill calendar. This is not part of your income log. So this is just for the visual of your calendar. To set it up, please enter your income category, whatever you want it to be seen on your bill calendar. Then enter your payday or start date by double clicking. And then your frequency. There are 3 different frequency that you can choose, which is bi-weekly, weekly, and monthly. Once you've done that, if you go to the bill calendar, you can see your income is now highlighted here. They will be automatically populated month after month for you. So I'll show you here. So you can see that they're automatically populated. So the income are always highlighted, which means that you only have to set this up once. So now after that, please enter your categories for savings and expenses. All of these categories here are fully editable. They're just here as an example, but you can delete and rename. Please feel free to set up your categories to suit your needs. Please also set up your categories for your bills, debt, subscription, and variable expenses here. After you set up your categories, please enter your projected amount in this column here. And then please set up your budget or allowance in this column here, here, and here. Please remember these are the budget for the period that you've set up here. Your total budget or projected will then be summarized in this column here. As you can see, savings here from the total projected will be displayed here. And then your total expenses will be this total bills here, budget for bills, plus total budget of debt, total budget of subscription, and total budget of variable expenses will be displayed here. So you'll then will be able to see your end balance of your budget or projected amount. So now to log your savings and expenses, please don't log them in this sheet. As you can see, all of the actual columns are colored, which means that they are automatic calculation from the other sheets. So to log your savings and variable expenses, please log them in the tracker sheet. And then to log your recurring expenses such as bills, debt, and subscription, please log them in the bill sheet. Let's talk about logging your variable expenses and savings first. So it's pretty easy. Please log them by entering the date, category, and amount. The category drop down here is whatever you wrote in this column here. And the same, the category of your savings here or whatever you wrote in this column here. So when moving on to the next month, as you can see, I've logged both August and September. Please do not delete the log from previous month. keep adding your log expenses for the next month to the next rows. There are over 1,000 rows, so you won't run out of rows. And the same with savings. Please do not delete the log from previous month. Just some tips to enter the date. There are 3 ways. So you can just copy and paste it and then double click and enter the date. Then you can select the category and enter the amount. Or if you wish to write your dates with month first and then dates, please do so by entering the number of the month and then the date. If you wish to write your dates with the format of dates first and then month, please do so by typing the number of the date and then without space, please enter the first 3 letters of the month. So you can basically write the dates in both formats. So once you've logged your data here in the variable expenses and savings, when you go to the paycheck budget, everything will be automatically calculated for you in under actual column. So this will be the total amount you spend on eating out is automatically calculated for you in this cell here based on the budget period that you've selected here. Sometimes the most common question is why is it not populating after you log your expenses? Please remember that this actual column will only populate the data between the budget period that you select in these 2 dates here. So this table here is automatic calculation. So this is the total budget remaining for variable expenses based on the dates you select in the paycheck budget sheet, which is these dates here. So this is the total taken from this cell here, which is the summary of this table here. This is the remaining budget per category of variable expenses. So for example, for eating out, you've input $200 as your budget, and then you've spent a total of $170, which means that the remaining budget is $200 minus $170. So that will be displayed in this column here. Is your remaining budget per category. So you can have instant view of your remaining budget while logging your expenses in this sheet here. So to log your recurring expenses, bills, debt, and subscriptions, please log them in this sheet. The calendar is to view only, so please don't write on the calendar. You don't need to duplicate this sheet. To move on from month to month in the calendar, please select the first of the month, and then it will automatically populate the dates for you, as well as all of the log bills, debt, and subscriptions that you've logged in the other tables. So now below the calendar is where you set up your fixed monthly bills. So you do this once, and then it will automatically populate your fixed monthly bills from month to month in the calendar and also in the paycheck budget. So what are fixed monthly bills? Fixed monthly bills are all bills that fall on the exact same date each month and fixed amount. So please do so by entering the due date without the month and year and entering the amount here. In this instance, I have rent on the 19th of each month and the fixed amount of 1,500. So that's how you do it. So please log all of them here. If they're not fixed monthly bills, please leave them blank. Like for example, my electricity bill, gas bill, and water bill are all variable monthly. So please leave them blank. So any other bills other than fixed monthly bills, please log them in this irregular bill tracker. So these are for variable monthly bills, biweekly bills, weekly bills, quarterly bills, annual bills, and so on, and irregular bills. So it's very easy, exactly the same with variable expenses. Please enter the due date, category, and amount. And again, when moving on to the next month, please do not delete the log from previous month. Keep entering your data for the next month in the following rows. There are over 1,000 rows. So this paid column here, I'm going to uncheck this. So you can uncheck altogether by highlighting them and then press spacebar. So when you check this box, you can see that it's updating these 3 cells here. So this is your total bills, total paid, and total unpaid of the month that you selected here. So when I check this, it will keep highlighting this cell here. So you can see instantly how much your total paid versus unpaid of the month. Please remember when moving on to the next month, for example, I've moved on to September, the total unpaid will be back to zero. It will only show the total paid and unpaid of the month that you select here. You also have the same feature here. If you check this box, then it will update that. So remember when you move on to the next month, for example, if I move on to October, this box will remain checked. So if you haven't paid the bill, please remember to uncheck this. So now I'm going to show you how to move on to your next budget or paycheck cycle. So there are two ways to do that. You can just use the same sheet and then go from paycheck to paycheck just by selecting the new paycheck dates, or you could duplicate this sheet if you want to have different budget or allowance and have a record of them from paycheck to paycheck. If you want to move to the next paycheck cycle, which is the 21st of August, and remember this is in this example, it's a biweekly cycle. So it will be the start date will be after the 20th, which is the 21st, and then the end date will be the 3rd of September. Then what happened is all of the actual columns will automatically populate the data between these two dates. So you just have to log your expenses and savings correctly in the trackers and bill sheet, and everything will be automatically populated for you for the next paycheck cycle. Remember everything in white cells, except for this. You can leave this as it is, but everything in white cells, in terms of the amount, you need to adjust if you have different amount. So let's move on to your needs and wants dashboard. So to utilize this sheet, please scroll down and please allocate needs and wants to each of this table here. Once you've allocated the needs and wants from these three tables here, everything will be automatically calculated for you here. So you'll be able to see your total needs versus your total wants versus your total savings and debt. Again, this is based on the budget period that you've selected in the paycheck budget sheet. So this is automatically populated those dates. So if you want to change the dates here, please change the dates in this sheet here. You can also enter your needs, wants, savings, and debt goal. And this will be automatically calculated for you in this table here, which is based on the income of this paycheck period. You'll then be able to compare your goal versus actual ratio of needs, wants, savings, and debt, which also will be shown in this two pie chart here. This table here is also automatically calculated for you. It's your highest to lowest expenses. So sinking funds or savings tracker. This is the summary of your sinking funds or savings displayed in these diagrams here at the top. There are up to 15 savings category. And again, to set up the category, you set it up here. Please enter your goal amount in this column here. So if you have a goal amount of holiday, $3,000, please enter it here. If you have any start amount, please enter it in this column here. Now, to make this ongoing saving is savings without any goal date or goal amount. So please delete, I think before in the original template, I have like 0 here. But please, if you want to make this an ongoing savings, you can just delete the 0 and it will display it as ongoing. So all of the goal amount that you enter here will be displayed in this row here. Your save amount will be displayed in this row here. So your save amount will be your start amount plus all of the savings that you log in this tracker sheet under this row here per category. So you can see all of your save amount in each savings category in this row here. You can also see your goal versus save in this little diagram here. Then you'll be able to also see your progress, how much you saved so far, how far along you are to reach your goal. There are two savings calculator. So saving calculator option 1, the purpose is to calculate your monthly contribution based on your goal date and start date. Your saving calculator option 2 is to calculate your goal date if you have a fixed amount of monthly contribution. So there you go. You have two different options. Whether you want to know your monthly contribution or you want to know your goal date, you can use these two different saving calculators. So annual expense tracker, you don't have to do anything here other than entering the starting month and current month. So when you select the starting month, please select the first of the month. It will update this column here, which means that all of your data will start on the month that you select here. It will then automatically populate once you've logged your data in the tracker sheet and bill sheet. It will automatically calculate and populate everything for you. You'll be able to track your expenses month after month. You'll see your total expenses, which is variable expenses, bills, debt, and subscriptions. You'll also be able to see your total amount to date and also average per month automatically calculated for you per category and also the total amount per category per month. The same with bills, debt, and subscriptions. So subscriptions category, this is optional. So you'll be able to allocate subscription category to all of your subscriptions. This is again just an example. You can delete and rename this to suit your needs. Once you've done this, then you can allocate category to each subscriptions. And then you'll see all of the totals here summarized for you. So how many total number of subscriptions you have for entertainment, the monthly average to date, and the annual fees. Everything will be automatically summarized for you here. Next is the Debt Snowball tab. To enter your debt information, please scroll down all the way to row 403. Your debt name already been populated from the Setup tab. So all you need to do here is to enter the start balance, your minimum required payment, which is the minimum amount set by your lender as your monthly payment, your interest rate, and then credit limit. Credit limit is optional. It's only if you want to see your credit utilization rate automatically calculated for you, then you need to enter the credit limit. This sheet will automatically sort your start balance from the lowest to the highest. This is because we're using the debt snowball method. So the debt snowball method is a way to pay off your debts by focusing on the smallest balances first. So you start by paying as much as you can towards your smallest debt while making minimum payments on your other debts. Once that smallest debt is paid off, for example, in this instance here, is paid off in the July 2025, you allocate the money you were using for it and apply it to the next smallest debt. As you can see, this repayment becomes $110, although the minimum payments is $60. It's because once this debt is paid off, you're pretty much allocating this $50 towards your next smallest debt. $50 plus $60 is $110. And that's the same case with the rest of the debt. So it's like a snowball effect. So the purpose of that is to speed off paying off all of your debts in comparison to just paying the standard minimum payment. You will pay all of your debt a lot faster this way. So in this sheet, all of the calculations are done for you and all of your information such as minimum payment, interest rate, credit limit are automatically populated here. So the next step is to input your starting month and your current month. Please double click on the cell and always select the first of the month. The same with this one. So once you input that information, this timeline here, month number 1 will start in the month that you selected. Now, if you're using a tablet or phone, the little drop-down calendar might not appear. So to select the month, simply type it. So for example, if you want to select August, simply type 8/1. You can start at any month and any year. Once you've updated that, you can see your debt-free date is updated in this cell here. This is the month when you will pay off all of your debt using that snowball method. Progress of each debt will be shown in this row. This will be updated each month when you go from month to month in this cell, which I will show a bit later. Your paid off date of each debt will be shown in this row, your current balance in this row, and then your credit utilization rate. So what is credit utilization rate? Credit utilization rate is the percentage of your total available credit that you're currently using. It is calculated by dividing your total credit card balance by your total credit card limit and then multiplying it by 100. A lower credit utilization rate is generally better for your credit score as it shows that you're not heavily reliant on credit. And this table here is the summary of it all. So this is your current or remaining balance based on the month that you select here, your current month. This is your total starting balance, total monthly payment, total credit limit, and then this is your total credit utilization rate, which is your total remaining balance divided by your total credit limit. So these two cells here will show you the numbers of debts paid versus the number of debts remaining based on the month that you select in the cell. This pie chart here is the summary of your current balance distribution, which is taken from this row here. When you move on from month to month, simply change the current month here. So when September arrives, simply select the 1st of September. As you can see, it's updating everything. It's updating the progress of each debt, the pay of progress, the current remaining balance, and it also cross out August. So when I move on to July 2025, for example, I'll choose 2025, 1st of July. These cells are updated because you have paid your first debt. So for all of the debts that's been paid, it will show as grayed out, so it's easy for you to visualize and see which debts have been paid off. It will show the progress being 100%. You can see the number of debts paid versus unpaid also been updated. So if I move on to September 2025, then you can see 2 debts been paid. So if I keep moving forward, you will see that all of the debts have been paid off are all grayed out. This pie chart here is also updated accordingly. I'll show you if I move on to March 2031, your overall pay of progress will show as 100%. Then you can see all of your debts are now grayed out. And then your debt remaining is now 0. Now, the feature I want to talk about is this monthly extra payment. So if you want to pay an extra amount above and beyond your minimum required payment, you can enter it here. So in this instance, your total monthly payment is $845. This is your total minimum payment of all of your debts. If you want to dedicate a number to add to this each month, you can put it here. So for example, if I enter $100, this will update to $945 per month. As you can see, the more monthly extra payment you put, the quicker you pay off all of your debt. So that's automatically updated. The same with this row will be all automatically updated. So if I enter $200 here, then you even pay off your debt sooner. You can see the details of that in this payment schedule here. So instead of $50 minimum payment, it's $250. And once this is finished, this will be automatically added to the next debt and so on. Now you can also add or reduce your payment for any random month in this column here. So for example, if in September I want to add another $300, simply enter it there. Then you can see everything is updated again because the more money you put towards your debt, the quicker you pay off your debt. And you can also take out some money or reduce the payment in case of unexpected expenses. So for example, in the month of March, I need to take out $200. I need to reduce my extra repayment by $200. Simply enter with minus 200 and it will automatically calculate everything as well. Please be mindful when you're taking out a payment like that, not to take out too much to the point where you exceed your minimum payment. So you need to make sure that the minimum payment is met here. I would recommend to only do that when you absolutely have to, because it's always better to put more money towards your debt so you can be debt free sooner.